All right, it's 3 o'clock. Seeing that we have quorum, I'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. I do that every once in a while. All right, so we'll go ahead and start with the approval of minutes from March 14th and April 25th.
Great.
All right.
Yeah, any questions or anything? Otherwise, you can make a motion in a second and then approve it. Perfect. Anyone like to make a motion?
I make a motion that we accept the minutes as written.
Perfect. Anyone second?
I'll second it.
All right, great.
Awesome.
All those in favor, please vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion approved.
Awesome. All right. Moving on to new business. I'll go ahead and give the floor to Danielle.
Okay, good afternoon, new commissioners, current commissioners. I just wanted to give a brief introduction of myself to you. My name's Danielle Lopez. I'm the Assistant Director of Community Services here at City Hall, and I will be your staff liaison. I've been with the city for 20 years. I just celebrated my anniversary a couple of weeks ago, actually. And I've worked in a number of different departments, started off in utility billing, moved over to community services, neighborhood services, back to community services, and took over the public art role probably about 3 years ago. So I'm really excited to meet you. I'm glad our commission's growing. I'm glad we have new people. We have a lot going on, and I'll try to, as we go through the agenda today, we'll probably be giving you some additional background information on things that are currently in process now. But it's a great time to be on this commission. There's a lot of exciting things happening. So just welcome, and if you need anything, please reach out.
Thank you. Danielle, happy 20th anniversary to your being here.
Thank you.
You're definitely a great part of this team, so just wanted to mention that. So moving on to the second thing on new business, the Escondido Chileans Museum Mural.
Yes, we have Melanie from the Escondido Children's Museum. She's going to come up and say a few words about her mural application proposed for across the street. I think you need to turn the on.
Okay.
It's turned on if you.
I teach kids, it projects, it's fine. Well, hi, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Melanie Vartabadian. I'm the Director of Museum Experience at the San Diego Children's Discovery Museum right across the street. And if anyone has driven by in recent history, you've probably noticed there's a big white wall right now outside the museum. Back in December, when we had those really, really strong storms, a front literally picked up the mural that was currently pinned to that wall and swung it around, and thankfully didn't hit anybody, and we brought it down. Historically, the museum has done sort of a public art call to artists to get, their interpretation of the museum, and we've had the public vote on it, and we have changed the mural out, I want to say twice a year. Obviously, during COVID, we had just put up a brand new one, and so it's been with us for about 2.5 years. So I think Mother Nature was trying to tell us it was time for a new one. And what we would like to do is, again, historically, the mural has been printed on canvas and then tacked onto that structure. And what we're actually hoping to do is transition away from that and have a mural directly painted onto that structure instead. We feel it's actually a very valuable tool for our visitors, especially our youngest ones, to get to see art come to life. And one of the pillars of the museum is purposeful play. And we try to do, painting and arts and crafts and things like that with kids that are visiting us. But we think it's a massive learning opportunity for children to see an artist at work. So we are hoping to actually transition away from what's been done historically, and we have that space. It's a wooden structure, it's very secure, and it's right on Broadway. So what a better opportunity for us as a museum to have a local artist interpret the museum and our mission, vision, and values through public art that again, visitors can see happening in real time. So we are still in the preliminary stages. So the application obviously is missing some information, but what we're hoping for today is, a step in the right direction where if we know that even conditionally it's something that the Arts Commission would help us with, then I can go ahead and begin pursuing the next steps, which would be looking to see what the final cost would be, helping pay an artist to put their work up, and gathering more information to do an artist call. And then depending on, of course, a timeline and said deadlines, the decision for the mural the final approval for what we would go ahead with would actually remain internal this time around. So our museum staff would be the ones that would help us choose. And we have recently gone through a operational plan, so we've sort of restructured our mission, vision, and values. So it would be a great way to promote that new information and those new, signposts or guideposts to the public with this mural. Any questions?
Do we have a copy of the application available, or?
The application is in the very preliminary stages now. Like she said, there was no cost associated. We don't have a sample art piece. I think right now we're just looking for support from the commission so that she can move forward with her next steps. And then this will have to come back to the commission for actual approval. Okay. And at that point, we'll have a complete application. We'll have a sample mural. And something more for you to look at. But we're just looking for some initial support for her to take back to her board that says, the commission will be in support of this project if and when we move forward.
And are we speaking only just support of the project in its entirety, or also financial support?
Financial support as well, yes, of course. But I think at this point for us, we want to make sure, obviously, that we are doing what we can to work with the city, but also to sort of, if we have the blessing, if you will, it allows me the opportunity to continue to pursue it. Otherwise, we kind of have to go back and sort of start over again. So again, even if it's just in the preliminary stages, then I can go back to our leadership team and our board and say, it's likely that it will happen. I'm going to spend some time, doing a little bit more data gathering and putting out a call to artists and seeing what we can get from that, and then coming back for further approval. Yes.
I do have a couple of questions.
Sure, certainly.
Data gathering. Is this the first time that you have come with Children's Museum to ask for approval plus money?
Yes.
Okay. In the past, you've put other murals up there. What is your other means? Has it been of supplying the money for it?
Fair question. I think part of the reason that we went with the method that we did in the past is because it was very cost prohibitive, because I don't think the museum honestly looked to get funding for the project. So we were, as far as I know, and again, this is historic, so I wasn't present at the time, but from what I've learned is that we had posted an open call on our website, and the final approval, the artist was merely paid a very small sort of congratulations prize. They weren't actually paid for their work, if you will. And then we just had it printed on a canvas banner. So it was the most low-cost option we could find.
And what was that cost? Do you know?
I could not find that historic information, I'm afraid. Yeah.
Yeah. So how long would you think that this banner, this art would be up, the mural?
That's a wonderful question. We would hope to at least have it in its stages for about a year. So one of our, like a fiscal year almost for us. That's what we would hope for.
Do you have a figure in mind that you're looking?
Around 30,000.
Well, what?
Sorry, 30,000.
Yeah, just in retrospect and with murals and all, and murals are wonderful and they add so much to and I know that the Children's Museum is a wonderful opportunity to put a mural there. Is that going up in front of the mosaics that was over, is that the area?
Yes, it is, yeah.
The mosaics.
Yeah.
Just being good stewards over what we have, because we only have a certain amount of money, And I know with the, we don't know what the economy as far as building, and that's where we get our money. And we have a total budget for that, and I'm seeing it dwindle. So, I mean, I'm just being real. Of
course,
speaking
of
out.
course.
So anyway, I just want to thank you so much for answering those questions, and those are my comments.
Yeah, certainly, of course.
I have enjoyed seeing the murals through the years. They're fantastic. And the ones that you've picked have been so appropriate and help get young artists excited about art. And the museum is one of its kind. Could you explain to me, besides this last canvas blowing off, why you feel that it's better to put up a permanent year-long structure rather than having the canvas again, if it's secured properly?
Yeah, of course. Valid question. I think one of the things we're hoping to do with the mural project is actually see art come to life. And again, in that idea that as visitors come and go, and as folks, walk or drive down Broadway, they're actually seeing the art happen versus just one day it's blank and the next day there's something there. It also, I think, offers the opportunity for a local artist to engage with the public as well, because they'll be on site for a certain amount of time. You will get, as any museum employee will tell you, you'll get hundreds of questions from kids, and it's a cool way, because one of the things we do at the museum is offer children a chance to discover what they could be. And we have exhibits right now on, maybe becoming a future doctor or a nurse, and why not become a future artist if you can actually see it happen. So we want to, fulfill our mission by actually having that happen.
I understand. If there were a liability that would happen, who would be the one that would be taking care of that, since we might be putting some of the city money into that particular mural that's going up?
Sure. It's at the liability for the mural or for the artist?
For the artist, if there was an accident or any kind of injury?
Yes, of course. And the museum does have an on-site insurance policy, of course, so we would make sure that that's written into the contract as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
All right. So what would be the next steps as far as, given that, financially right now, just looking at the mural tracking sheet that we have here, that would pretty much wipe out half of our budget, essentially.
Fair point, yeah.
I don't think that's a hard no to support this project, but maybe we could assist with some of it, but
Okay.
not,
Yeah. That helps.
right? Am I right on point there?
I'd like to hear a little bit more of what
Sure.
if it's only going to be up for a year, and you could put up, a banner that would stay, or I'm using the wrong word, a canvas. I would like to know, come back with that cost.
Okay,
before
sure,
we make
sure.
any decision on that. I feel like we've made a few decisions that I just think we need a little more time.
Of course.
I love the museum. I love the art that goes up there. I love the purpose of it. My grandkids use it. So,
It's good to know.
yeah. So, I certainly, but if you could get back to us, I don't think we have to make any decision today.
Right, exactly. I'm just kind of
Yeah,
fielding
but I
it to-
appreciate your time.
Of course.
Definitely.
Sure. Yeah, and I can certainly start doing, pursuing a little bit more, doing some more research, and then I will, send that over to Danielle, and we'll see kind of where it goes from there, and then if I can come back to another meeting, certainly.
So I just wanted to add, our next meeting is in July.
Okay.
So, and also regarding the budget, what you're seeing here now is this year's budget, and we'll be talking about this a little bit later in the agenda, but we do have additional funding coming to the mural program through this year's CIP project. So there's more money.
Okay, good. Glad to hear
Good to
that.
know.
But yeah, like I said, I don't think it's a no. It's just
Sure.
a not yet. We'd like more information and more data.
Certainly.
Brought to the table, and we could definitely discuss once we have a little bit more of that information in front of us.
And I think that was the plan, just
Yeah.
to present
Okay.
this
For today.
Okay.
an
Sounds
initial
good.
presentation of the project, and then she will, can go back and they can put out their call for artists and then actually come back with the actual project.
Awesome. Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Great.
Sweet.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks for being here.
Thanks very much. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Alrighty, take care. All right, so moving on to the agenda. Next up is the Grand Avenue Art Proposal. Take it away.
I think I'm up for that.
Yes.
I have some copies, and also, just in case the internet went blank, I did this because I felt it was an important,
Cool, all right, no problem.
could be an important, I believe it's important. So, let's see.
Whoa.
Don't peek.
Oh, sorry.
It's all about the drama. Let's see. Well, my name is Patricia Spann, and I'm so excited to present this proposal for a Grand Avenue Art Project. So a little background and a little history. You could leave it right there for now.
Okay. Sorry.
Last month, I was involved with 2 meetings in the Mitchell Room that the city put on. One was with Old Escondido Historic District, and the other with the Downtown Business Association. At both meetings, led by the City Deputy Director of Public Works, the focus was on homelessness in our city. By public poll, homelessness is the #1 concern in Escondido. Homelessness is counterproductive with all businesses along Grand and also potential clients and restaurants, businesses, not to mention art galleries. One area of huge concern was the area next to Tony Pepperoni in the 7-Eleven parking lot on Calmi and Grand. You know where that is, right? There's an area about 4 by 10 that attracts homeless and causes numerous safety concerns that I heard about both those meetings. So slide number 2, please. It was rumored this was city land, so there was lots of activity there, and it could not, and it was said that it could not be enforced because it was city, kind of a park-like. And that was wrong information. We looked into it, the city looked into it. The land belongs to 7-Eleven. Now, this is the background that surprised me. After some more investigation by the city, could you, next slide? It was found that the manager of 7-Eleven was not only giving this group permission to be there, but was giving them free donuts and free use of the bathroom. It was brought to the attention of the owner of 7-Eleven what the manager was doing, so with the help of the Downtown Business Association, a letter was written to the owner of 7-Eleven, and then the city was able to take action to address the loitering law. However, the issue still exists as the city makes regular sweeps to clear Grand Avenue for customers. I have dozens of stories and pictures related to that area of people experiencing homelessness through drugs or mental health in emergencies and issues. Well, they say that necessity is the mother of invention. In this case, necessity is the mother of creativity. I see a problem, a solution, and an opportunity. I know we can't solve the homeless problem, but we can create areas that bring in customers, visitors, clients, and Instagrammable moments. Imagine with the next slide, arts partnership across the street and a willing owner of 7-Eleven to have art placed in this area that would be a start for a growing art district that reflects our city and our history. The proposed area has the potential to be an outstanding location to place public art. Even the Escondido Arts Partnership agreed. I envision art that brings tribute to Escondido on the Grand Avenue Business District, art that projects our rich history and our vibrant present. Wonderful art occupying this space to the point where it attracts businesses and visitors instead of attracting vagrancy. In my opinion, this is a prime place for public art, highly visible, with Heritage Park, next slide, on one corner, and the Grand Theater, next slide, as well as a visual corner for farmers market and cruising grand. Next slide. Nice. You can see they're setting up right there. I imagine as we set the goals for a citywide master art plan, making Grand Avenue a place that excites visitors and residents from block to block, that would develop into an art walk from the Mercado at Center City to Palomar Heights, where the hospital was, at the east end of Grand. An art walk that not only says we are unique in our history and exciting in our present, art that will reflect, and these are just ideas, and it's just placeholders. Next slide. That would reflect, I think, okay, one more. Okay, that would reflect the Safari Park. Next slide. Center for the Arts. Next slide. Queen Califia's garden, which is the only installation of its kind in the Western Hemisphere. Okay, this right here is my daughter-in-law's idea. Wonderful. These are little rocks that from the Seven Magic, oh, I'm missing something here, or even Cruising Grand, the largest weekly car show in Mississippi. It's the largest weekly car show west of the Mississippi, excuse me. We also have a rich agriculture of avocados, citrus, and grapes, not to forget our revered veterans, to mention a few of our attributes. And thinking outside the box, adding a new historical value in our city and Instagrammable moments. This particular place is something on the way to Las Vegas. They say it's one of the most Instagrammable moments. People stop and take pictures all the time, but it just brainstorming. Or interactive art, next slide, like the Lovelock's installation, something that is interactive. Basically, next slide, we just want to love Escondido. So we need to creatively have Grand Avenue a destination. Without safety and interest, our money spent will be wasted. I would like to propose this is our first art venture in adding to the Grand Avenue project. And that ends my presentation. Thank you. Comments? I guess that's for you to say.
Patricia, that was amazing. I thought you did a beautiful job,
Thank you.
especially the examples overlaying with the wall there of the actual site. I think it has excellent potential to do exactly what you proposed at the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, you know, as far as art goes, I think we definitely want more art in our city. Are we proposing to add to, like, more funding from the Arts Commission to help?
Well, one of our
Yeah, because
charges is to, I know we had talked about it several times ago that we met, that we're looking for places to put art on Grand Avenue. And this particular one has 4 corners, and 3 of them are very artsy, and the other one is where people take naps. So, and from what I've seen even on Grand Avenue, with the lady with the change and the little child up by the pizza place, the homeless seem to stay away from, respect the art. So the more art we have and the more people we have, if you go by that Tony Pepperoni at any time, just about, after they've made sweeps, perhaps not, they make sweeps once a week. And they say if we I'll just say this, what the director said was that there's 150,000 people in Escondido, and they have the ability to use that reported app. And the more that it's reported, a lot of things were reported, they said they could add more sweeps to the street. So, I mean, there's other ways to approach this, but our charge is to do art and do it well. So, and to do it timeless, I would say, and to do it inclusively so that it makes people happy, smile, and so on and so forth. So anyway, there's 4 corners there, and I think this would be a lovely place. That we have the 7-Eleven. He felt that 7-Eleven would go along with it. Tony Pepperoni, I know, would love it. They don't like people sitting right there and eating and other people napping. And I have nothing against that. I've talked to people there and asked them, can I help them? So it's not, this is an issue. Our charge is art. And so if you put art there and people there, it tends to have positive activity. So yes, I am proposing that we start there and do some kind of art. I don't know exactly what I can envision myself would be, what I propose is that we pick a theme and put it out to an artist, and then, or the artist, and then come back with at a cost, and would you call that an RFP?
Yes, or just a call for artists.
Call for artists?
We would put out a call for artists with what we're looking for. If you want to put a theme to it, you can. If not, they'll come back with whatever they want. We've also talked about in the past those monuments that did not get selected for the Palomar Heights project. So we could always go back to one of those if something fits in that space, or if we want something different, we can do that too. So it would just be a call for artists. We would get the proposals, and then they would all come back to you for review and approval.
The only thing I feel a little uncomfortable with is like having art be a deterrent for folks who are experiencing homelessness.
What?
Like, that just feels a little weird. You know?
Let me just say, and I know it's a touchy
Like art,
issue.
To my, art is intended to unite people and to bring people together. And I mean, if we're doing art to deter folks from, I mean, I get it. You know, there's a lot there that is not solvable at this exact moment. You know, you mentioned folks that have mental health struggles and folks who are have trouble with things like drug addiction and that sort of thing, which is something that I hope the city has been working on. But to use art to deter those people kind of makes me feel a little gross, to be honest.
Well, let's take that out of that. That is a perfect place for art to be, 4 corners of the art to be put there. If you want it is, I mean, we can't erase the fact that it's there.
No, I agree
So
completely.
if I were to say that, and it is a situation, it's not deterring them, it's deterring people who are paying customers. At that one meeting, I don't know if it was the pastor or the manager at the Grand, he said, he's worked with homeless all his life. And he said that the balance has kind of shifted to where it was like, oh, we'll help you, and they don't, a lot of them don't help. But I mean, that's neither here nor there, we all know that. But the fact is that it's shifted towards, he had told some stories about some of the homeless and some of the problems that he mentioned, I'm not going to talk about, but just that were done to girls there, and it was, it's something you can't do. This is something we can do legally if 7-Eleven will allow it there, and it's because whether or not it's legal or not, we're seeing people there every day.
I think the placement of I agree. I've been past that street many times. I've been obviously to the Arts Partnership place. I think having art pieces there is a great idea. I mean, but as a deterrent for homeless, that's the only problem I have with this whole thing. But I think also the other thing we have to consider is that Grand Avenue is going through a whole revitalization as well, right? So there's a lot of new, not only the Palomar Heights project, but I know there's also going to be an expansion of that whole street. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things that I think are kind of, there's plans, right? If I'm not mistaken, Zach, on that?
Correct. Yeah, the city is currently going through the Grand Avenue Revitalization Project, and
Yeah.
they're utilizing American Rescue Plan funds for that. Should be done in the next 2 years or so.
Yeah. So I think, so I don't know what that area is going to look like within the next couple of years, is what I'm saying. So I'd hate to put an RFI out get all this momentum going only for it not to work. You know what I mean?
Okay. If we were to take, any art that is in there is going to be helpful to the businesses downtown. If I had not mentioned homelessness and just said that was a great area for art, and not mention that, it doesn't change the fact that it's great art put in there. So, I mean, I approached it that way because I see it's the impetus, it's what kind of got me thinking about it. But, a lot of great ideas come out of maybe not the challenge, or if it's a good idea.
Well, big art down on Grand Avenue will bring more customers to those businesses regardless. Like you said, with like an art walk and everything like that, I feel like that aligns more with like our goals as the Public Art Commission. But I agree with getting sculptures and everything else on Grand Avenue to do art walks. I think that's a fantastic idea, just to bring more big art to our city. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel that this is an opportunity. It's 3 corners of already developed art, and the theme of developing this corner for an art purpose and a way to show off art, I think is a good idea. To be honest with you, not so much as looking at it as a deterrent, but more of a positive opportunity. That's how I'm looking at this, that it will enhance everything that is there, and people have financially put money into developing these corners, and this is like a blank canvas, just as it says. This is an area where perhaps we could even do something, a mural in the future on that corner. But to develop this corner, to help the other corners prestige and people to want to stop and look, I think it's an opportunity.
Yeah, we have that funding there for the Grand Avenue Art Project too, right?
It was mentioned to me by a few people that it being there in that area is kind of out of the way too. If it was on the corner, there's could be some problems of visual for cars and traffic. But being back there, it's like it's an already made area. There's an area there that looks like it's made for some kind of art. I mean, and that yellow thing, I don't know if it has to be yellow or not, but could be repainted, and it could be just really pretty. I mean, can you imagine sitting on the other side of that fence while and looking at that beautiful art? I need to flip this. I mean, it's even sitting on the other side of the fence looking at what you see right there, as opposed to a beautiful something from that would say Wild Animal Park this way. I mean, not that it would say Wild Animal Park this way, but would be like a, giraffe, elephant, or something from the wild animal, panda, wings, whatever. But my creativity ended at stock photos. So.
Do we know what's the plan for that area of Grand Avenue in terms of like extending the sidewalks and everything?
Zach, if you know more, I know that the next 2 phases will be coming. I'm not sure if it's coming down this far. But what I wanted to add is we'll, of course, involve the engineering department. We'll run all of this through all the departments so that everyone has eyes on it, and we're making sure we're making a good decision and not something that's going to have to be torn out in 2 years. And not that it couldn't be relocated. The piece that you were mentioning, the bronze piece with the mother with the child on the lap waiting for the bus, that has been relocated temporarily. So I don't know if it will come back to Grand or if it will stay on Broadway, but so we do have some flexibility with that. And we'll make sure, like I said, that we'll take a multi-departmental approach and make sure that we're, putting things in the right places and not going to impact any other projects.
at the same meeting, he talked about how all that the problems came down this way because of all the rehabilitation at the other end of Grand. So, and again, flipping this, I mean, it would just be a beautiful four corners and a place to start. We were looking for a place to put some art not too long ago that we were taking out of somewhere. I think it was those pillars. Where could we put them? The pillars on Escondido Boulevard, and we're all scratching our head. And I'm looking at this. Well, you know, maybe it's something we have already. I don't know. But it's worth brainstorming about, I think.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to adding more art to our city or Grand Avenue, definitely. I think it's a good idea to, you know, since we have the funding for Grand Avenue, then let's use it to, you know, put some stuff there and make things look nice.
You did one example with locks, where it becomes more interactive. Why couldn't we think of something creative where all people in Escondido would have an opportunity to interact
Yeah.
on a level of equal? Everybody is equal, and they have an opportunity to interact with the art piece. I don't know what that
Are you
would
familiar
be.
with the Love Locks? I wasn't till today.
I've heard of it,
Okay.
but that's a community interactive where,
Individual.
yes.
Uh-huh.
And that's what I would like to see. I would not like to think of this in terms of getting rid of or replacing, or I would like to see that everybody in the community of Escondido has an opportunity to participate in something that's productive, tangible, and enhancing to that corner. And if we could think of something that would reach all the people that walk by and share that corner.
If that's the direction that you want to go, that's something specific that we can ask for in the call for artists. We don't have to come up with that.
Yeah.
They will come up with it and bring it to us.
Yeah, I love that idea of having something interactive and.
Yes, we're not separating people, we're bringing us together as a community, because that's really what we are.
Right, it's, and I was told by someone that most of the, something like this, and I'm looking at the heart here, should be maybe on a little bit of a pedestal. It kind of gives awe and respect to it, just automatically in your mind gives it a little, I mean, not maybe a huge one, but just up maybe a foot or two. So thank you. But where do we go from here if this is something we want to do? I mean, I know it's...
You'll need to vote on moving forward with a call to artists.
And then vote on what interactive art we would like for them to come up with, or do we come up with something like the Love
I think I would
Locks?
probably write an we would write the call for artists and then distribute it to the commission for review. And then people can add comment, and then we would put that out. So right now it would just be moving forward with the call to artists.
Yeah, that would be sufficient. It would just be a commissioner making a motion to call for artists, a second, and a vote. No funding needs to be attached to it or anything, specific, just a general call for artists. Yeah.
Me? How to do that?
You don't have to. No, it's any commissioner.
Okay.
You don't have to, but if you'd like to, a commissioner can make that motion.
I'm not used to this. Gal.
Yeah. So I guess, would anyone like to make a motion to that?
I'll make a motion for a call to artists.
Great. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
All right, we'll take a vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Great.
Aye.
And no opposed. Motion approved. Wonderful.
All right.
Thank you, Daniel.
So moving on, we have a section about the Washington Park murals.
Yes. So I'm sorry I wasn't at the last meeting, but I just wanted to, there's two things. I want to confirm the art that was selected. Let's see if it will open. And then also, Anna Marie asked that I provide an additional proposal. So in front of the pool house at Washington Park, and this isn't the best picture, but it's the only one that I could find that shows these benches. So if you're looking here, you see these concrete benches that are out here. She's requesting that we increase the funding that was approved at the last meeting by $500 and take some of the mural options that weren't selected to be put on the wall and to put them on the benches. So, and she's estimating $500, an additional $500 to the original award. So that's the proposal that I'll need you to vote on if you want to do that. And then I wanted to confirm, oh, where is it? Which art was selected?
Well, I don't think, did we?
We never did.
Yeah, I don't think we selected any
Oh, you didn't?
that we were going to.
I thought she had said this hand reaching out, and then these.
An updated version of that, right? Is that, I think we talked about it, but I don't. Yeah, I don't think there was like an actual motion or vote to.
I don't think there was either.
Because that wasn't what we were, I guess, bringing to the table, is from what I remember.
It wasn't on the agenda.
Yeah.
There were a couple things. I think we wanted to go over there and just see what it was. And matter of fact, I was there today, and there's only one mural left.
That's what I heard.
And that one looks like a bad sunburn peeling on the third or fourth day. You know, at the bottom, there's a piece coming off of that. So that probably, unless it gets glued down, won't last through the summer. But I understand these are being painted on. The one on the bottom, they talked, that says battle scars. I would prove that if there was, if just the, I don't think we need the words in there, other than on the arms. And some of the arms, I think, ought to be Caucasian, too. I mean, just, just to be inclusive.
So may I ask what the result, like at the last meeting, will the district be bringing this back to us then?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what, I know Sudi was working with the students that designed these to make those changes that we had suggested at the last
Okay.
meeting. But, I mean, those were like, I think, our favorites, but I don't know if we came to a decision that was actually voted on as far as public record
Okay.
or anything like that. But,
Yes, I believe you're correct that they were going to take it back to the artists and see if those renditions could happen. But at this moment, I would like to just stress one thing. This is also an area where lots of children come. And I would like to see maybe on the benches something more kid-friendly, where we reach out and touch young minds that art is alive and it's bright and beautiful at the same time. If you notice, our theme here is basically very muted tones. And I would like to see something like on the bench that is brighter and more exciting and more vibrant for young children, because I know that they have swimming teams, swimming lessons, families that come. And these two pictures that we ended up talking about at the very end are more mature theme. So I would just like to see something brighter and more colorful and exciting for young people as they come to the pool area.
yeah, I think that might be a good idea. Yeah.
Okay, so at this time then, we can just table this?
Yeah, let's
So
take
I'm sorry, it was
Danielle.
it was my misunderstanding. I thought
Yeah.
that there was an actual vote and that those were the selected pieces.
Yeah,
So,
we were about to vote, and we weren't there. We, I guess, decided to not because it wasn't on the agenda to vote on a particular piece.
And also, we wanted the artists' input, that
Yeah.
if they were flexible enough
Yeah.
to make some changes, and I believe that we left it with the teacher to go
Yeah.
back and
Okay.
talk to the students and get back to us.
Which has happened, and yes, because we're on the same campus, so. But she did bring she did say that the artists would be willing to make those changes, and
And what changes were those?
they to the mention that we wanted their lighter skin tone hands within that, and then those words taken out. So, and she mentioned that it might have just been also the projection of the way it was put onto here that might have messed with the color hues or whatever. So, But yeah, she did mention that the artists were okay with those changes. So,
So she'll be on for future agenda in July.
What date is July?
I mean,
Is that too late?
that might be too late.
Yeah, it was real time sensitive, and I'm surprised she's not, oh, wait, you got the answer.
Yeah.
July 11th. Well, we can always call a special meeting like we did on that Monday. So it's not a big deal, whenever they're ready. So if we could talk with it's Sudi, right?
Yeah.
So if we can keep that line of communication open and we can get something set up soon, that would be helpful.
Yeah, because,
I think we had kind of a sticker shock with that it was going to be for 1 year, and was it $13,000?
12.
12.
Well, it'll be 12,500 with this addition of the benches.
So I would not, I mean, if they want to paint them, but I'd just say that, let's see how this goes. I don't know if she's trying not to hurt anybody's feelings or what. She's going to leave somebody out with just 2 more benches. So I would vote against the 500, but
It was time sensitive because she'll be working with another teacher for the 4 weeks in June.
Yeah.
And she wanted it done in 1 month. And so that's why we're on a time crunch here.
Okay.
So we can't actually, if we want this done, we can't put it off till July.
can we vote on what you had suggested with the changes? I make a motion that, can we do that?
I would wait for her to come back with the actual design. If they're working on making changes, we don't want to vote on anything here that may end up changing. So we'll just set up another meeting soon, in the next couple of weeks,
Yeah.
to make the final decision
decide on
and
the
get a final vote. And then we can talk about the additional $500 there and what pieces would be selected for that,
Okay.
all in one time.
Yeah. 'Cause
Okay.
I think, yeah, we'll have until the end of this month, I think, to make something like that happen. So I think that's okay.
Okay.
All right.
Can I see a picture of that slide one more time of the front entrance?
Yeah, wow. We did some pretty nice, nice improvements there.
So we're only talking the 2 benches, $250 each?
There's 4. They're squares. It's hard to tell. They're individual squares, and I believe there's 4 of them. 2 on the right and 2 on the left.
Painted on all sides?
That's a question that we'll have to ask the artist. I can't say,
That's okay.
but I would assume so.
Does look better.
Yeah, wow. I didn't realize how run down the Washington Park pool was before we repainted it and did all those things to it.
Yeah, this was a couple of years ago when we completely redid Washington Park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wowzers.
Great improvements.
Definitely. All right.
Okay, so we'll put that on future agenda then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now we could finalize and just do everything how, by the book.
Okay.
Right, Zach?
Exactly.
All right. Moving on to the next thing on the agenda, Public Art CIP budget. Take it away.
Okay, I just wanted to show you guys, so we'll give a little background on how our CIP budget works. The Public Art Fund is funded through a CIP, which is the funding that we receive through park development fees. So whenever a development goes up in Escondido, depending on how many units, square feet, et cetera, the builder is charged a fee. And a portion of that fee is set aside for public art. So every year, they do an assessment of the projected fees that we're going to receive and we have to use, and then we have to allocate that towards existing projects or new projects. So this year, the CIP budget, which you'll see our existing projects a little bit later in the couple items down on the agenda. But these are the two projects that are receiving additional funding this year. So we're adding $100,000 to the city mural program and plan to for the next 5 years. And then public art installations. So this was to address the sculptures along Center City Parkway. But I wrote the project in a way that it really can be used for anything. So if we have, we have money in Grand Avenue, but if we didn't, this could be used to put a monument there. So this is really basically anything other than murals in the city. So it gives us a little bit more flexibility, and doesn't tie us to a specific location or a specific type of art. So these will be going to council for initial review this Wednesday. And then they'll vote on it in June. Do you know the day?
I believe it's June 8th, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, June 8th will be the final approval. But so this is what will be added to our budgets that you will see later on in the agenda.
Cool. All right. Thank you for that. Next up, Center City Parkway monuments.
Okay, it's me again. Anna Marie has asked, like I was just talking about, we have approved moving forward with a project for Center City Parkway to put monuments on the medians. And the idea was to use the projects from Palomar Heights that were not selected for that project, but to take those and put them in the medians because the art is ready to go. It should be a pretty, quick process. So we need a subcommittee or an ad hoc committee. And so we were looking for a couple of volunteers today to join that committee and work along with myself, Anna Marie, and whoever else would like to join. So we're looking for 1 or 2 people.
Pick me.
Yeah, Rochambeau.
Well, I think that's perfect because I think we said 2 and then with an alternate because sometimes, you can't make a meeting or whatever. So if the 3 of you would like to take part in that? Mm-hmm. Okay, so Commissioner Span, you got it, Zach?
Yeah,
Everybody?
Commissioner Span, Commissioner Ryan, and then Chair Velasco. Oh, did I see? I have Chair Velasco.
Chair Velasco, yes.
I didn't see anyone else.
I'm Commissioner Dillender.
Oh, Dillender, yeah, I'm so sorry. I didn't see your hand. I apologize. I'm so sorry.
And I'm sorry because you don't have names.
So Chair,
It's
Chair
okay.
just so I'm clear though, because this is important, the committee can't have more than 3. It has to be 4. But technically it shouldn't, even if we had an alternate, 4 would be pushing the Brown Act. So I would only recommend having 3
Okay,
in case
okay.
one showed up. So,
Okay. Then does anyone feel very strongly about it? Do you mind? Okay.
Oh, I'd like to stay on it.
Okay. So Commissioner Span.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, only because the reason why is that a subcommittee needs to be made up of less than a quorum of the group. So if one wants to be selected as an alternate, we could do that, but it would probably be safer just to have 3 or a total of 3 because I'm assuming Chair Velasco has said
Yes.
she wants to be on that. Okay. Yeah, if you want to be an alternate. So then Commissioner Dillender and then Commissioner Span will join Chair Velasco.
Okay.
Is that my understanding?
Works.
Perfect.
Yes.
All right, great. Thank you so much. Great.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
When, I know we've picked someone for the master plan for the art, when, this seems like it would be integral with the master plan, where things go and what goes, how it goes. So when does their,
Well, I can give you that update now. It was going to be in the liaison report, but we'll just talk about it now. It's totally fine. So the RFP, we've chose RRM as our consultant, and we should be starting public outreach in the next couple of weeks. So for the new commissioners, we have a public art master plan that's going to be happening. So we have a consultant that's going to come on board. They're going to talk about, they're going to look at our processes and our policies and really try to help us be more efficient in the planning of our art, the locations of our art. It won't be, they're not going to specifically tell us where and what to put, but it'll be an overarching policy document that will just help us move forward because we have seen such an increase in murals and public art in the city lately, and we just need a more organized method to how we're doing it. So that consultant will be starting the public outreach process, like I said, hopefully by the end of May, and we'll get that ball rolling. It's going to be about a year-long process.
Exciting.
Yeah.
will work be able to be done during that time? I mean, some of the ideas The
Yes.
one that you just suggested, I mean, we'll be able to go forward on those.
Yes, we are moving forward with all of our projects alongside, at the same time. So anything that's in place, if something comes up in the meantime, yeah, we'll still be moving forward with those items. And then when the master plan is complete, then those policies will take.
I don't like to move fast, but I like to see things moving forward, so, yeah, thank you.
All right. So now we're on to section D, liaison report.
Okay, so a couple of other updates for you. Tristan's mural, the mural that's going by the 7-Eleven, we've been having a hard time connecting. The owner of the store is hard to pin down. So the last couple of weeks, we've been trying to set dates. I was out for 2 weeks. We were supposed to meet today, but he was not available. So we are just waiting on the owner of that building to meet. He wants to meet with me. They will sign the contract documents. They've had them for quite a while. And then we'll finish the contract documents, and then Trista can start. But unfortunately, I don't have a date yet because they have not turned in their paperwork to me.
What is that for? I'm sorry.
The mural, it's the Sky Whale mural on the side of I think it's a laundromat. It's adjacent to 7-Eleven.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we approved it back in September. I want to say last year. Yeah.
He's been going back and forth he had to make a few changes. He's been going back and forth with the owner. I think it's something that we'll see a lot. In talking with people in the foundation, they funded those couple of murals. Working with the owners of the businesses is definitely the most challenging piece to all this. So we'll just see where it goes, but we are in constant communication. Hopefully we'll get a chance to meet this week and they can turn in their paperwork because everything is approved on our end. So it's really just obtaining signatures from us once we have theirs, and then he can start. So that's the update on Tristan. The foundation murals should be starting soon as well. I think the artist that was doing the one off of 2nd and Orange, he had some delays due to some health issues, but he's going to be starting in a couple of weeks. They have a third mural. They have the one at the on Rose, the tamale. I think it's not a tamale. It's a tortilla shop. Yeah, the tortilla.
Yes, the
restaurant.
one on the front. Mario, yes.
Yes. So they were waiting for the facade improvement program because there's some repairs to the frontage of the building that need to happen. That is moving forward. So we hope that they're going to be receiving funding, hopefully from the economic development side of things here for that program. So they're going to make some improvements to that building and then be able to move forward with their mural. And then they have a third one coming, which will be, I believe, on Hawthorne Country Store. So they were not ready to present that here today, but they will be at our July meeting. So they will attend the appearance committee, and then they will be at our July meeting to present that mural to us.
Sounds good. And I'd like to make a quick welcome to it. Commissioner?
Thank you. Why did I think it was 4? I don't know. I got back late last night from a Julian fiddle camp, and then everything's
Yeah, no worries.
Thank you.
We're happy you're here. Cool. All right.
Let's see, I gave you an update on the master plan. Palomar College, Commissioner Velasco and I sent Palomar College a proposal expressing our desire to have a mural on either the Midway side or the Valley Parkway side of the building. And they, so the ball is in their court right now. They're going to present that to their board, and then they will come back to us with, if they approve it, if they want us to go out for a call for artists. But that process has started, and we're just waiting to hear back from the college. And I think their meeting, it's sometime early, I was going to say early June, but I think it's before that. I think it's probably this month. So by the next meeting, we should have a decision on if they would like us to move forward with that or not.
Do we need any additional support from any of us to attend this meeting or anything like that to kind of show our solidarity with it? Or I don't know if that would help or not.
At their board meeting?
Uh-huh.
That's a good question. I don't know. I can reach out to them and see if that would be helpful.
Okay.
I don't remember what that mural looked like.
There is no, yeah, there's no.
Yeah, there's no design yet. I think it's just an idea as of now, but yeah. All right. And just sometimes it helps to bring people along, you know.
Okay, and then the last update is the Lighting the Way monument that is proposed for like the split where Second and Grand splits that median in the center. The folks from Stone and Glass are working on that project. They had asked for this first quarter to fundraise, and they've come up against some challenges. One of their main funders, unfortunately, passed away. So they're not really ready to move forward yet, but I just wanted to let you know that I am in communication with them. I know that some of the commissioners were concerned about the money that we are investing in this project if they are not ready to go. And I just want to assure you that we have not invested any money in that project yet, and we won't until they're ready. So we have agreed to do the glare study for them. So until they have their funding in place, that will just be put on hold, and then when they're ready, we'll move forward. I don't know. I mean, we don't have any funding. If it takes them 6 months, I mean, I'm okay with that. I don't know if you guys have any concerns about that, but we're not invested in the project. So I feel like if they need more time to fundraise, I think it's probably fine. But if you have concerns, please let me know.
Yeah, I think since the project hasn't started yet, I think it'd be a different story if the project was like halfway done and then, but I think since it hasn't started yet, I think we're in good shape with it, right?
We still need a soil study where we have to know how far down, because it's a large project that has height.
They have to provide us with the engineered drawings. And that'll have to go through our engineering department, planning department, building department. So all that will be approved, and they have to, design it to a certain standard to make sure that it's safe. So that will all be looked at.
All right.
Okay.
Perfect. All right. Financial report.
So the financial report, item E in your agenda, this is our list of current projects. Not much has changed here. I just wanted to point out a couple of things. You'll see the next item that we're going to talk about is the tracking sheet for the murals, and you don't see any expenditures here, and that's just because no invoices have been turned in and nothing has been paid. But that money has been set aside for those purposes, but nothing has cleared here. The $60,000 under maintenance program public art, that is for the repairs that have occurred at Queen Califia. There'll be one more payment coming out of that for, I think, $15,000, and then we'll be complete with that project. And half of that project will be reimbursed through the Nikki Foundation. So they've agreed to pay for half of those repairs. So we'll be receiving some of that back, and it will be put back into this fund.
Awesome. That's great news.
Mm-hmm. Right. But other than that, nothing has changed.
Can I ask a question, Danielle? On the the Friends Circle, that's the RFP went out for that. Where
The RFP
is
has
that?
not gone out yet. I was supposed to, well, not supposed to. I wanted to get it out today, but it'll be out this week.
And that money that was approved by the city council, that doesn't show it on here? Is that for Parks and Recreation from Parks and Rec, or?
Yeah, that when it goes to council, then a budget adjustment will happen, and then we'll put that there. And that's going to come out of the public art fund.
It'll come out of public art fund, so it will come out of this?
The development fees. It's not going to come out of anything here.
Okay.
It will come out of the development fees.
Was I wrong in hearing that it was 250,000 they voted on, or am I just,
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have so many projects. You are correct. That money is $250,000, and that is through the American Rescue Act funding. So that has been set aside.
and it,
That
but it
has been
doesn't
set
show
aside.
here.
Yes, and it's not a public art fund, but if you'd like me to add it here, I'm happy to do that, just so that you can see what's.
It would be nice, I think, just for the committee. Yeah, the Friends Circle is by the Queen Califia, and it will be for events and such like that. So it's something to offset some of the costs, hopefully, if we can get some good events going there that are going to generate money, and also it look good. We want it to kind of blend in with the, right?
Mm-hmm.
But thank you for answering that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I got confused for a minute and noticed.
What is the American Rescue Fund? Sounds fun. American Rescue Fund, that's just a.
If it's the American Rescue Plan, it's from the federal government, that large stimulus package they passed late last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, so it's a federal,
Federal, yeah.
okay.
Did you say it was called Friends Circle?
I don't know if we have official name, but that's just, we kind of gave it a pet name because, so we can identify it.
Near Queen Califia, and that's $250,000?
We have $250,000 budgeted for it, but we're putting out an RFP right now for someone to design the space for us. So the design and the construction will have to fit within that $250,000 budget.
Okay.
Is there financial report?
That was the financial report.
No, awesome. All right. Just wanted
Oh my gosh.
moving on to subcommittee updates. Mural subcommittee, and that's the mural tracking sheet.
Okay, I can talk about that. So I thought we're approving murals every meeting almost, so I thought we better start making sure that we're tracking these things.
Yeah.
And this was just something quick I threw together. I think it needs more. I think it needs, I'm gonna add the dates, when the mural was approved through us, when the mural was approved through the appearance committee, and then we'll have the dollar amount with the running total. But I just wanted you guys to see this. Do you have any suggestions? Is there anything you would like to see on here? I mean, I think it'll be a working document. We can change it as we go, obviously. I just wanted some way to be able to represent, so we can see, as we have people coming, this will be in our packet, and we can say, okay, like you did today, we have $78,000 right now as of today, and a $30,000 mural is going to eat a whole bunch of that. So this is really for you guys, so I want this to work for you. Like I said, I just wanted to kind of put a skeleton here,
Yeah.
and then any other information you think is helpful, I'll add.
I'd like to see a location on there for myself.
And also maybe like a timeline, like estimated time of completion.
That's good.
Okay.
And then I think, I don't know if this would go here, but just as far as how far has the artist been notified that, I mean, obviously they get notified here at the meeting, but has a follow-up, I guess follow-up of next steps.
Okay. So maybe like contract received, kind of some check boxes, contract.
Yeah, so something like that. Yeah,
Like maybe at what stage in the process it's at?
That's good.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll add those things, and then we'll present it at the next meeting, and it'll, like I said, it's going to be a working document. It'll just keep evolving, and we'll just keep adding to it so that we can see where we're at in our programs.
All right, moving on to Queen Califia subcommittee.
I could give a bit of a report on this, that the number of visitors continue to rise at the Queen Califia's Magic Circle. Last month, second Saturday, we had over 600 people, so numbers are rising, but we have had 2 new docents, and she's training another one, I believe, hoping we can adding more people, hoping we can add an additional day or to the calendar or a Saturday if we get more docents. That's always a, I don't want to say complain, it's people want to be able to come when they can come, you know, so it's only open according to how many docents we have. So we need more to rotate throughout the month. As Marty put it, our docent bucket has a hole in it too, because people are that were real faithful, they have health issues or something going on. So we just need backups too. So that is a concern. The work on the repairs at the Queen, as Danielle had mentioned, continue, and the large part of the snake has been repaired, and it looks
I have
great.
some before and after pictures.
Oh gosh, that's wonderful. And the city has filled the trench where the problem was created by drainage, and last time I was there, the tiles were not put in place. Are they put in place
They're
now?
done, yeah.
They're done?
Yeah.
Boy. Okay. Do you have those pictures?
Yeah, sure. Let me
Okay.
share these. So this was a huge section of the snake that was missing really large patches of tile. So this is Lek. He is our artist, and he removed. Unfortunately, you can't just patch the sections. You have to remove the entire section of that type of tile and replace it all. So that's what you're seeing there. He's got most of it from those sections removed, and it's just fiberglass under there. So he had to like sand that down and reapply some areas to reinforce them. And then this is now, it's all
Gosh, it looks
complete
great.
and beautiful. So that's the wall, and then the floor. The floor has had a huge crack for quite some time, and it's cracked. We've repaired it twice, not since I've been here, but over the years. And when we opened it up, we realized when the repair was done the last time, they didn't take the proper steps to put in this rebar, and I guess with the ground moving, the crack just came right back. So this time we pulled it all up. Our public works crew did an amazing job doing the underlaying concrete repair, and then which looked like that. So they completely fixed that section, smoothed it out. It'll be so nice not to see these black rugs out there anymore. And then the artist came back in and laid these tiles, which are called cookies. So they stick out a little bit because they're nice and white and clean, but this has been such a long time coming to have this floor repair and the snake wall repair as well, and we're just so happy to have it done. So it looks great, and we're really happy where we're at today.
Okay.
awesome.
Thank you so much for that report. Also, I wanted to say that the exhibit of Nikki, the artist here, Nikki in the 60s, it's called, is at the La Jolla Museum of Contemporary Art, which is open to the public from April 19th to July 17th. She had such a diverse kind of art. It's going to be fantastic. Matter of fact, we are doing a tour exchange where active docents are invited to the museum, and then we'll do an exchange with them coming up at some point. So I think it'll be a win-win for the museum and Queen's Circle and for the docents too. So that's part of that. And also, is there any update on the QR code
Yes.
at this point? Yay!
So the QR code is ready.
Okay.
So what we are doing with the QR code is that right now, the only way that we have accepted donations for the Queen is through people that are down there handing our docents cash or sending in a check to me or something like that. So we've established a QR code that we can put on all of our marketing materials, so that they can donate right from their phone. That's what everyone's doing now, right? We're just behind the times. So we've got the QR code ready. We have temporarily, pamphlets, flyers that we give out down there. And I had probably 2 boxes of 500, and I was just killing me. I didn't want to throw them away. So we have stickers. We made stickers of the QR code, and we put them on the flyers. So we have started distributing those, and we will also, it may be up there now, I'm not sure, we'll have the QR code on our website so that people can just go right there and donate right from the site instead of cash handling.
Yeah, that's great.
People can still do that, but now they have another option.
That's awesome. I mean, the more options we have to get some money for more of, any other repairs that come.
People want to donate, they just,
Yeah.
this will make it so much easier. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, and the donations that we're receiving are going to be earmarked for maintenance of the Queen.
Awesome. Great news. All right, cool. Thank you. That's a great report. Any items from commissioners?
I would just like to make a remark. I thought the snake artist did a beautiful job taking off the old tile sections and redoing it, as also the cookies on the floor. I don't know if that was the same person, but
It was, yes.
he's very talented, and tell him thank you.
Yeah.
It's been her aide since the inception, right?
Yes, that's correct.
And I believe he's the one that has to do all the repairs, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Like no one else can except him. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. But given his work is great, so
Yeah.
it's awesome.
I have an agenda item for next time. I don't know what to call it. Continuing from this today, Grand Avenue exploration of community art, big ideas from a small town.
Cool. And I did have one item from just as far as I've gotten a couple of folks who have come, like Charlie specifically, and just asking. I guess there might be some opportunity to kind of connect and see what the next steps are for the murals. So I don't know do we usually email folks out once everything's approved, like, hey, congratulations, you have this mural, your mural proposal's been accepted, these are the next steps. Like, have we reached out do we usually reach out to folks once things have been accepted?
Once we have a contract written, we'll send it out to them, but other than that, no.
Okay.
But we certainly can.
Yeah.
This mural program is new, and if that's probably, we probably should be doing that a little bit more proactively. Sure.
It's just because they're kind of left up in the air, like, all right, well, what do I do now? So, and the same thing goes with the school district. They're asking to see if they could get an email confirmation saying, like, how much the award was for, like what, and kind of the parameters around what transcribed when it got accepted. So then that way they could start on their end to.
So the school district was not accepted though, right?
At the last meeting, it was, yeah, we voted on it.
We accepted the budget, but not the actual.
Not the art.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the budget was accepted, just not the art.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay.
Discuss that yet? The student art?
Uh,
The last time?
We kind of did, but we don't have like the new, like the student artists were okay with making those changes, but we didn't bring it to the table today.
Oh, they're okay with the changes?
Yeah. So, but we just have to have a whole nother meeting just to approve that art.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so
Sorry, we're jumping
that will happen, yeah. So that
Catch up to speed.
will happen after we actually approve the art.
Okay.
But they already have a contract with us for Washington Park, so that will be a very quick, simple amendment, I think, to their contract.
Great. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. And yeah, I think that's it for me. Yeah.
Anna Marie, Commissioner Velasco asked that we add public art education. So in the past, we've done a lot of outreach to schools, and that just hasn't been happening so much over the last, 5 years or so. So she wanted to talk and brainstorm about how we can start that program up and start, just promoting the public art that we have here in Escondido. So we'll be adding that to the future agenda.
All right. Any other future agenda items that we would like to add? All right. Any oral communication?
Yes. Were you, and did you discuss the sculpture subcommittee? That was supposedly on the next agenda.
I think that's, did we?
The subcommittee for the Center City Parkway sculptures? Yes, we did.
Yep. Anything else for oral communication?
None. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, thank you all so much for being here today, and this meeting is adjourned at 4:20.